And now I proclaim you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride. Pause. Let us rewind. My name is Sally. I am 29 years old and I am a nurse. By the time I graduated from school, I already had secured a spot at St. Peter's Hospital. I always did my internships there, and most of their high clientele patients required my services. They could not but tag me after my graduation. Plus, I am easygoing and easy to make friends with. Even a blind man would recognize the importance of a good customer service. And that is how I met Bernard. Bernard Mako, a rich independent entrepreneur. 27 years old, but a serious family man. We had met during one of my night shifts at the hospital. Memories of the event of that night were still imprinted in my mind. My student colleague and I were catching up on school issues when he was brought up in. The stretcher was bloodstained and the body was covered with a sheet. It seemed lifeless. Immediately we switched in emergency mode and got to work, pushing him towards the theater. What happened? The doctor charged in. Multiple shots in the chest and a torn artery. One of the doctors from the ambulance quickly explained. With the amount of blood gushing out, I doubt he will survive. Right now, we only can pray for a miracle. I joined the surgeon in the theater while the receptionist stayed back comforting the people I presumed were his family. It took us 8 hours to complete the surgery. When we finally finished, we celebrated our success. Dr. Harris, the main doctor in charge, went out to break the good news to our patient's family. I took him to the private ward, bypassing his family celebrating in tears. I don't know why, but I subscribed to take care of him. I read his file and I learned his name is Bernard. What a nice name, I thought. Bernard stayed in a coma for 6 days and only woke up on the 7th day during one of my checkups. I termed it a miracle. You must be an angel. I looked down from the drip bag and saw his eyes and I chuckled. He gave me a strange smile, wincing in the pain. And you must be the one I am assigned to. How do you feel, Bernard? Like an elephant walked all over me. The guy was smooth. I smiled at that thought. The painkiller in your drip is going to lessen your pain. I said, what do you say I take you out after all is said and done? Hold up, player. Get well first, then we can talk about the date. I'll hold you to that, Sally. I figured he had seen my name tag on my lab jacket. His family got in the word to greet him. His mom, elder sister, and younger brother. The EKG connected to his vital had signaled. Dr. Harris called them. I exited the ward, giving them their space. After 3 months, Bernard got discharged from the hospital. As planned, he took me out. Adding to how inappropriate I thought going out with one of my patients was, I couldn't ignore the fact that I am 2 years older than him. So, tell me about yourself, he said. I think you pretty much know much about me already. Well, for one, I know you as a nurse. What I don't know is why your boyfriend let you out of his sight. What a nice way of asking if I had a boyfriend, I thought. I guess he trusts me too much to think that I'll mess up, I retorted. Bernard chuckled. Someone's God's joke, huh? He said. I blushed, then took a sip of my wine. But seriously though, do you have a boyfriend? And if I say I don't? I flirted a little. Besides, it's been a while since I got some attention from a male. Wouldn't hurt to utilize this one now. Then I say we're into something promising. Who can ignore that smile? But I had my doubts. Look, Bernard, I love the way you say my name, he said, touching my hand. I smiled and removed my hand. As I was saying, I am older than you. It doesn't feel right. Baby, age is just a number. You're 27. That's 2 years of difference between us. Who cares? Do I look immature to you? I tried to speak, but my mouth couldn't form the words. I just looked at him. Bernard leaned across the table, his lips aiming for mine. I turned upon the contact and his lips landed on my cheek. I should go. I cleared my throat. When Bernard dropped me off, I had not yet thought of an answer to give him. When will I see you again? He asked. I don't know, I said, shrugging. Good night, I said, and exited the car. Bernard was the perfect gentleman. He sent flowers at work. He called during my break periods and stole the slightest opportunity to see me. After weeks of asking and asking and asking, I finally said yes. We were official but not very prepared for the stride back that were to befall us. And it started when I went to visit his mom. She welcomed me and we sat to discuss, waiting for Bernard. So, how have you been? Everything's fine, ma'am. Thank you. Hey babe, Bernard joined us, surprising me with a peck on my lips. To say I was embarrassed was an understatement. Are both of you together? Yes, Mom, and we're comfortable that way. His mom tried as much as possible to suppress the discomfort she felt, but I felt like the walls were too small to contain the both of us. That settled, we had to attend functions together. Being influential, Bernard needed a date, so I filled those vacuums. But the backlash started coming from fans and secret admirers. We were on for a few months and everything was okay. Ben was constantly out of the country for board meetings with his top managers. He had even proposed a couple of times, but I declined, saying we needed more time to get to know each other. It was a Friday night. Ben was out of the country, so I had to sleep at his place. The ringing of the bell woke me from my sleep. 2 police officers stood at the door. They came with news that Ben's private plane was reported missing. That day, I stayed with Ben's family, anticipating reports from each search. The wait was so torturous. It was all over the news and reporters delivered different versions of the story. Worry etched my mind as I watched. I thought of something to occupy my mind. I had some regrets and I hoped, oh my God, no, I prayed for the opportunity to make it up. I wish I had accepted Ben's marriage proposal. I wish I had followed him to that trip to spend time together. I just wish. The day passed on like gloom and I silently prayed for a miracle. It was exactly 2 a.m. when the news we longed to hear finally arrived. Ben's plane was found. The entire house came alive with the great news. We celebrated Ben's return. Without wasting any time, no ring present, I rushed into his arms, yelling, "Yes! Yes, I do!" In little or no time, we were sharing our vows at the altar. And now I proclaim you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride. For the first time since we met, our lips met. We sealed our fate with a kiss. Looking forward to a life after that and letting go of the differences that threatened to separate us.